Now, just as a reminder for those of you who maybe don't deal with inheritance tax quite so much, one thing that we need to look at with inheritance tax is this concept of domicile. Now, accountants, I mean, I'm a tax advisor. I've always worked within an accountancy background. Is we're looking predominantly at residence. You look at how many days you're resident in the UK, the statutory residence test, for example. We only really looked at domicile when you're looking at remittance basis claims for capital gains tax purposes. So domicile was almost a secondary concept, really. We're just looking at physical presence in the UK. We are going to be doing that with inheritance tax now, as I'll come on to in a moment. But historically, it's always been about domicile. The other exemptions and reliefs I already mentioned in the pro forma as well. So you've got business and agricultural property relief. That is a relief, not an exemption. An exemption is a spousal or the charity exemption. That means it simply does not touch the side. A relief, like business and agricultural property relief, means that you still have to declare the value of the farm or the business, but you then remove it further on down the inheritance tax return. There is also a type of heritage relief, like a conditional relief. So if you've got an asset which is deemed to be of great heritage to the nation for whatever reason, then as long as there's reasonable public access, that can be taken out of your estate as well. Now, as far as the main express trusts are concerned, you've got discretionary and interest in possession. Discretionary, probably the most common. As the term implies, trustees have complete discretion as to what happens to both the income and the capital. The beneficiaries may get one, either, both, or neither, as long as they are considered. They are potential beneficiaries. The settlor will usually provide a letter of wishes, of course, to the trustee. That letter must not be binding. It's a letter of wishes. It's not orders or instructions. The Charman case held that if that is true, it's effectively going to be a sham. I mean, most pensions, most modern pensions now are discretionary trusts, and the trustees have your letter of wishes should you die as well. There will often be a class of beneficiaries, not just one. They've got to be identifiable. They've got to be within sort of administrative and evidential boundaries.